Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Elon Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co host.
Nicholas Sapasco. Every week, we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week, we'll be reviewing Bugonia, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, what's poppin'? Where we run through the biggest movie stories of the week. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 12. It's great to have you. Um, I hope everyone's Halloween was great. How was your Halloween, Nick?
It was pretty good. It was all right. I went to like a roller rink and I dressed up as Lewis from Lois. I just was Lewis from Meet the Robinsons.
Nice.
And what's up?
I said nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, and that was pretty much it. And then the actual Halloween day I spent working, but it is what it is. How about you? How was yours?
Yeah, it was good. I dressed up as Ghostface. I actually had a very scream-filled, like Halloween season, I guess, Halloween week, which
I
I'll
did
get
see on
into,
your social media.
which I'll get into in news and what I've been watching. But just there's a new trailer. I watched a few of the Scream movies, so there's a lot to talk about regarding that. But just a good time. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, and
Really?
yeah, and I just had a great time this year. So let's, I guess, get straight into the box office this week. And number
All
one
right.
this week was actually something that doesn't happen very much. A movie went to number one in its second weekend. Regretting You, in its second weekend, was at number one. It made $8.1 million domestically, which was a 41% drop from last week,
Mm-hmm.
which means that total domestically it's at 27.5 million and globally 50.8 million on a $30 million budget. I'm not surprised that this is making money because the last Colleen Hoover movie made money, and like I said, I did enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I
I
think
know,
that's really weird though that it goes number first on second weekend. Or I feel
yeah,
like just not a lot of stuff's coming out.
yeah. As I'll explain, this was a very bad weekend for the box office.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah, and then at number two was the Black Phone. It was actually like they're by $0.1 million difference. This one is at $8 million this week, so it was actually not sure for most of the weekend which one was gonna be number one. Um, but the Black Phone two is number two. It made $8 million domestically this weekend, which brings it to 61.4 million domestically total and $104.7 million global. I want to mention that both of these movies both star Mason Thames,
Mm-hmm.
and with him getting the number one at the box office this weekend, it makes him the first actor since 1990 of Jim Carrey, where the same lead actor opened three movies at number one at the box office in the same year. The last time this happened was
Yeah.
in 1990 with Jim Carrey, and then it happened again this year um, with Regretting You, Black Phone 2, and How to Train Your Dragon, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I know you really like him. I kind of don't see it. I think he's like a good actor, especially like a younger actor. He just kind of looks like another face, I guess, to me.
Uh huh.
But if he's like really going out there and like doing this shit, like making numbers, breaking records, or I guess not breaking it, but like doing the same thing that Jim Carrey did, like shit, maybe he has a future.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just really like his vibe, and I'm excited to see where his career is gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number three this weekend was Chainsaw Man, the movie, in its second week. 6 million domestically total. It's a 66% drop, which brings it to 30.7 million domestic and 129.9 million global on a budget of, get this, $4.1 million. $4.1 million, and
Those
globally
poor
they're,
animators, bro. Those
yeah,
poor animators. Holy fuck.
and globally it's at
They
one
get paid
hundred
nothing.
and $29.9 million. That's a crazy profit.
Dude, no, they're getting literal chicken scratch, bro. The way that they treat the animators in Japan, like I love that movie, obviously. Like I thought it was great, but I just feel so bad because they're not going to see a. Oh, I mean, I don't know exactly know how it works in terms of like profit separation or whatever. But I feel like they're not even going to see a dime of the 100 and something million that you just said. Like
Oh,
it's crazy.
absolutely not. Um,
I feel so bad for them.
yeah. At number four this weekend was K-pop Demon Hunters re-release again. Made 5.3 million domestically this weekend, so not as much as it made its first go around, but it's still making money when it's been free on Netflix for the past like 20 weeks. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely gonna be a big franchise. And also, I'm pretty sure uh, that they were the most popular costumes of the year from what I read online,
Yeah. Hmm.
which is interesting. So I guess this is like a new big franchise that we have on our hands here.
I mean, we'll see. Like, I remember when like the movie first came out, we were immediately getting reports of like, oh, live action K-pop Demon Hunters, oh, franchise sequel K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be a big fan of the live action thing. I think a sequel would be cool. It's definitely the setup there. Like, there's enough that they could do for the second one, or just expand the story and the world of it.
Yeah, well, they are definitely getting a sequel because I think this is
Oh,
definitely
100%.
it's one of Netflix most watched movies ever. They shot themselves in the foot dropping it on Netflix, knowing how much money it could have made in a box office in a theater release.
I mean,
Um,
but like, did they though? Because like, I feel like also putting it on Netflix, like making it so accessible, I feel like that also grew the
yeah,
audience with it. And at the end of the day, like they did make their money in the box office release by re-releasing it in theaters
yeah, you're right.
twice, mind you.
You're right. But
Hmm.
not season. The second movie, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be only in theaters, and that's going to make a shit ton of money.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It'll be a High School Musical 3 situation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So there's two more things I wanted to mention on the box office. Number five was Begonia. It went wide this week. It made $4.8 million domestically, and $11 million globally on a $55 million budget.
Tragic.
And yeah, kind of upsetting. And then number six was the Back to the Future 40th anniversary re-release, which made $4.7 million this weekend. Um, yeah, so overall, this weekend was $55 million, and it is the lowest Halloween weekend in 31 years.
Hmm.
And this October in general is the worst weekend in 27 years,
That's crazy.
other than the year of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Um, with the number one movie of October being Tron Ares, it only made $63.4 million domestically, which is the weakest number one October film since 2005.
That's insane. Yeah, no, I mean nothing really came out. I mean, just talking for this weekend, nothing really came out like that was super significant, like a really box office blockbuster or something like that.
Yeah,
Which is kind of crazy to think because October 31st was on a Friday. So,
well,
I don't know.
I'll tell you exactly why. It's because Mortal Kombat was supposed to be last weekend, and so it pretty much claimed the Halloween weekend and the weekend before. But then when
Mm,
they moved to last minute, so nothing was able to fill the date, and so it's just like
hmm.
a an empty hole in the movie scheduling.
I didn't even know that was delayed and it was delayed. It's coming out next year, right?
Yeah, it literally just got delayed because apparently the test screenings have been so good and the trailer got so much like hype that they were like, we have a summer movie blockbuster. There's no point to drop it in October. Let's like wait, build up the hype, and drop it in like May or June or whatever they're dropping it next year, and have like a big summer
Damn.
movie.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that honestly made me more excited for Mortal Kombat just because they seem to be very confident.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm definitely gonna watch it. I haven't seen the first one that came out like during the pandemic. I'm pretty sure, but I'll give it a watch. I like Mortal Kombat as like a franchise, I guess.
Yeah. So there's not much movie news this week. In fact, not really anything to note at all, other than I guess Netflix was interested in is now in the race to buy Warner Brothers. But we kind of
Mm,
already knew that. But now it's just kind of like
yeah.
official that they're working on it. There's not really any other details other than that. The two main pieces of news I want to talk about are actually two trailers that dropped on Thursday. One of them being the Scream 7 trailer. Did you watch this trailer, Nick?
I did. Yeah, I did.
What do you think?
I thought it was. I mean, I don't really care about the Scream franchise like that.
Yeah,
I recognize that the main character is like an older character. Was she in the first movie?
she's like the Scream character. She's like the final girl,
Is
and
she the reporter, or am I
no,
tripping?
no, no. The reporter's in this movie. but
Okay.
this is like it's not the reporter. No.
Okay. Well, yeah, I recognize that like she's a character. I know that they removed like I did watch Scream 6 and I liked it. Also because it was like in New York and everything. And I know
Yeah,
that they removed
we saw it
Jenna
together actually.
Ortega. Yeah, we did. Um, yeah, and I like Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera in the last movie. I was really sad to hear that they removed them from Screen 7, but whatever, I guess. And yeah, it looks good. It looks fun. I like I said, I don't really have any strong opinions on like the Scream franchise. I'll watch it. Um, it looks pretty fun. I like some of the shots. The whole house burning down was pretty cool to see. I'm more just interested in I guess like what more they could do with a seventh entry. You know what I mean? What more they could do that
Yeah,
hasn't already been done. How what how many more people can you put behind that mask and make it still like have an impact?
right. So I think this trailer looks fantastic. So I don't know if you're aware with what's kind of going on with this movie, but this is like an AI centric, or at least that's what the rumors are. Is that this is like an AI?
Really?
The rumor is that Ghost. So it's confirmed that a lot of the previous actors for Ghostfaces that are dead, or at least uh, we see them die, are confirmed to be returning in some shape or form in this movie. The killer from Scream 3.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Stu Macher at the end of Matthew Lillard at the end of the trailer. You literally hear him voice line from him. It's
Bet.
rumored that Billy's coming back. You hear Dewey's voice. He's not a Ghostface, but he's just another character that's been dead in the Scream franchise. You hear his
Mm-hmm.
voice in the trailer. Um, a lot of the older, and then there's others that are just rumored, not confirmed. But a lot of these older characters are going to be coming back, and so the current theory is that this is going to be the killer using AI to kind of torment um, Sydney and her new family, which are going to get introduced in this movie. I'm really excited. I'm low-key pretty annoyed because there is, you mentioned the whole Jenna Ortega Melissa Barrera thing, and I'm not going to get into
Yeah.
the details on that, but people are boycotting this movie, and that's fine. But posting literal spoilers because there was a plot leak months
Yeah,
ago.
I did see that there was a plot leak,
Yeah,
like a few whenever ago, and I didn't really
yeah.
read it because yeah.
It was proven correct by this trailer just because it matched up. And so
Okay.
people that are boycotting are literally just retweeting shit with just straight up spoilers, like the biggest moments
Mm-hmm.
of the movie, who the killer
Yeah,
is. And I just think that's not the right way to go about anything because you're just
that's kind
ruining
of
it
crazy.
for the people. I know pretty much every thing that's happening in this movie, unfortunately.
That's kind of crazy. You couldn't hold yourself back.
I mean, it's not even that I couldn't hold my like. They were literally like they would the day the trailer dropped, they would retweet literally one line, blank is Ghostface.
I see. I see.
So
All
no,
right.
literally, there's no way. I was just scrolling on my timeline, spoiler
Uh
after
huh.
spoiler after spoiler. In between every few, tweets there'd be a spoiler. So it's just like, I don't know, kind of lame, but I'm still really hyped for the movie, and I hope it turns out to be as good as the trailer makes it look. Another trailer that dropped this week was the Stranger Things season 5 trailer. Did
Mm.
you check that out?
I did, and I also don't care about Stranger Things. Um, a lot of nothing burgers for me came out this week. Including one of the movies that I watched. But what? No, but yeah, like I, what else is there to say slash do with Stranger Things, bro? Like I think we talked about it last week, like it coming out to
Yeah, we
theaters.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna watch that at some point just to like have something to watch. But honestly, like, ugh, yeah. And I saw the trailer. It looks they're bringing back Vecna. Cool, I guess. I do like the fact that there is an actual like villain with like a face, and he isn't just like
That is
some
nice. That
guy.
is it is good that they're
Yeah,
finally
he isn't just some like
yeah.
fucking entity or spider or like the Upside Down or whatever.
It's a real
Um,
character.
it's a real character exactly, and I don't tell me or I don't know, but I think he's like the I think he's like the reincarnated like dead body of another dead character or something like that. I don't know. I might be tripping on that. I have no clue about
I
anything.
So I haven't seen season 4 since it dropped,
Okay.
but I don't think that's what it was. I don't
I don't know.
remember.
Like I said,
Yeah.
I might just be talking out of my ass here. I am 100%. But like I said, it's all right. It looks cool. It looks like Stranger Things. I'm just excited to see Eleven raise her hand
And yell Papa.
at the whatever and yell while she nosebleeds, and that'll be the end of
Exactly.
the whole series.
Yeah. Yeah, the trailer looked fine. Um, I like I mentioned last week, I think the release schedule is stupid. Um, I think they should either drop it all at once or do a weekly release. But Netflix will be Netflix, and that's that. So that's the end for what's popping and brings us into what we watched. I will start this week. I watched a lot of horror stuff this week. The first thing I want to mention is I watched the first two episodes of It: Welcome to Derry, which is the
Mm.
new It prequel TV show that's streaming on HBO Max. And I'm conflicted on it because I thought the first episode was really good and really interesting. There's some really fucked up shit that happens at the start of that episode and then also at the end of the episode that like kind of grips you in. But then this episode was a lot about the fallout of that event, and for this is like an hour and 20-minute episode. It was not a short. The second one, I mean, it was not a short episode, and so for the first, I want to say 40-50 minutes, I was bored out of my mind, and I was like, I think I'm gonna turn this off. I don't think I'm gonna continue with it. Welcome to Derry. But then the final 20-30 minutes of the episode happened, and honestly, I was pretty into it. I was like, okay, we're going somewhere. I'm curious to see where this is gonna go. It has a lot of connections to like the overall Stephen King universe, which I'm not
Mm-hmm.
familiar with at all, but I'm learning a lot about as it's releasing. I'm just like been watching videos and reading stuff. It has like a character from The Shining in it, which I did not know going into it. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I think for a TV show, it looks really good. The effects are great. It's just I don't know how long I can keep up with the Pennywise shtick of just watching these kids get tormented, have these visions over and over until they eventually come together to beat him or whatever. Um, I just feel like this episode was just the second episode was just a drawn out version of the movies, and I didn't really like that. So hopefully they
Mm.
improve on that. I do think I will stick with the show at least for another episode. Um, but I'm curious to see where they're gonna go. We haven't seen Pennywise yet. We've because I know in the books he is like his clown form isn't like his only form. In the movies we only really see him in the clown form, but in this movie
Mm-hmm.
we see Pennywise. I guess like the entity, the spirit, whatever you want to. I don't really know the lore on him. I guess I'll just call him an entity. We see him
Yeah.
take on many different forms to like torment these kids, and I know eventually we will see the clown form, and I'm just kind of waiting till he pops up because Bill Skarsgård is really cool in that role.
Without spoiling, could you like say what kind of got you into the last 30 minutes of the second episode?
Yeah, I mean, so there's the main plot line with the kids and the people, the children disappearing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a plot line with there's a military plot line, which involves like the grandfather of Mike Hamlin, which is one of the kids from the movies. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these characters are like familial relationships
They're
to
okay. They're
the main
related to the main
kids.
characters.
Yeah, it's like some of them is like a grandfather. One of the characters is like uh, the uncle. Like uh, they haven't explained why these characters are all related, but I'm sure they will. And just the last 30 minutes, it was just things were happening. I mean, I feel like for the first whatever of the episode, it was just kind of existing in that world, and it's not a world I particularly care too much about, so I was just kind of bored.
I
Um,
see.
yeah, and then
All
it
right.
does pick up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Uh,
haven't seen it Welcome to Derry yet. It's still on my list. I kind of have the same, I guess, apprehensions with the show that you do while watching it, which is like, do I really care about like this story, these like random kids, this like random ass like Americano town. Um, I don't know how interesting they can make it, especially after you telling me that like they haven't even shown the clown yet. I'm sure they've had like other scary moments and everything. Um, I'll
Yeah,
still
like
probably watch like
they've shown Pennywise. I mean, just in different forms, like him throwing
right.
blankets and up. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, like I'm sure I'll watch like maybe like the first episode to like give it a shot. Um, but I don't know. We'll see how many do we know how many episodes there's gonna be?
I think 8.
Okay. That's
So
a
I
lot. That's a lot for this sort of premise. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. I think if I do watch it, I'd be more like excited for just like the Stephen King weirdness of it all and like how it connects to all of his. I mean, I don't really I'm not really in tuned with all of his things. Like I haven't seen The Shining or anything. Um but I really like the kind of like weird and nonsensical and like mystical environments that he can like really build up, especially in like in a visual in like a film format or in a show format, I guess. So I think that's what I'd be most looking forward to when I do actually get around to watching it.
yeah, I think that's why this show exists is to like soft launch a Stephen King TV universe, and they probably just saw the opportunity with it being probably. I mean, arguably, I mean, I guess It or The Shining is the most popular Stephen King property. You
Mm-hmm.
could argue which one, whatever, but it being just a very marketable modern franchise, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like, let's have this be our linchpin, because they're really like I've read a bunch of like Stephen King references and in the episodes, whatever, and there's like a lot of connective tissue. Like I said, characters from The Shining appear, locations from other Stephen King novels, and I'm curious to see if they're actually going to build out this world because that'll be pretty cool. I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know they're already doing like a I don't know if this is connected, but Stephen King wrote Carrie, and I know they're doing also a Carrie show.
Oh yeah,
Um,
the Mike Flanagan one.
yeah, exactly. And I think also I feel like it'd be really easy to implement Pet Cemetery if I'm not mistaken in the fact that he wrote that. Yeah, he did. I feel like it'd be really easy to integrate like a Pet Cemetery into this film TV universe if this is
Yeah,
actually what their plan is.
it's gonna be interesting to see where they go from here, and I just hope that next episode is good because I'm not gonna stick with it otherwise. So I guess I would never
It
find out.
will it will be back in in it Endgame.
So Nick, what is something that you watched this week?
Yeah, so I finally got around to watching The Mastermind by Kelly Reichardt.
Oh, I wanted to check this
And
out.
yeah, honestly, I didn't like it. I I think I don't know if it's just like it's not my movie for like the time. Like it just like I didn't gel with me in the moment that I watched it. I was also kind of like very sleepy and I didn't and this is my first Kelly Reichardt film, so I kind of have a general understanding of like how she works. She's a very like slow director. Like she likes taking her time with like shots. She likes having a lot of like dead air as to, like emphasize like movements, just like not a lot going on in terms of like what's actually going on in the frame. So yeah, so I was very sleepy when I watched this and it
Uh
just
huh.
kind of put me more to sleep. Um I thought the performances were pretty good from like Josh O'Connor and Alana Haim as well, and also the kids and everyone around them was like good and funny. But in general, I never feel like I got like a full. I never feel like I was really like hooked in to the narrative. Essentially, what the story is like Josh O'Connor. He's like a he's like a 50s house dad who I is having some sort of like midlife crisis or something, and he decides to steal art from a museum, and then the rest of the movie is like him doing that, and then like what happens after, the fallout of that. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It just didn't really stick with me. I was just like kind of waiting for something more significant to happen. Um, and then things kind of started happening, and then the movie ended. So
Uh huh.
I was just like, oh, that's it. Okay, cool. I guess that's it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I you have to be you got. I feel like you have to know what you're going into,
Uh huh.
and kind of also already have a sort of like palate and taste for that sort of like slow, really like what is the word I'm looking for? Just like really slow and kind of like environmental isn't the word. Oh my god, ambient
Uh-huh.
film. Yeah,
Okay,
that's kind of you
interesting.
have to go into that. Go look
Would
into
you
that.
say
Yeah.
it's worth like watching? Is it worth my time or not?
I don't know if you'd like it honestly. I think
Okay.
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, thank you for helping me save time.
No problem. I feel like if it was like at home, like if it was on streaming, then I'd say maybe give it a shot. But I'm not gonna tell you like go out of the theater, go out of your way in the day, go to the theater and watch that. Honestly, like I felt that I wasted my time after I finished watching it.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, so another thing I was able to catch this week was the Back to the Future 40th anniversary re-release. I saw this last night in 4D. This was my second time ever seeing the movie, and I haven't seen it in like I don't know, like 6 years or something. And it was such a fun experience. I could tell that everyone around me were big Back to the Future fans,
Hmm.
um, and just the vibes were good. It's such a fun movie to watch. So well paced, so like well acted. I forgot how funny it was. Like the guy who plays Marty McFly's dad
Hmm.
in the movie, he's so like large with his mannerisms and the way he like acts, and it was so funny. It just had me cracking up. It's like he's in a completely different movie than everyone else, but it still somehow works. It fits the character, and it's just so funny.
I
I
remember
really
I remember this one sorry, I remember this one scene at the very beginning, the dinner scene when they're all watching TV and he's just
yeah,
like
it's so
cracking
good.
up at
It's so
dude.
good.
That shit always makes me laugh whenever I see a clip of it, dog. It's so funny.
It's so funny, and yeah, it was great to catch it in theaters and just watching it in 4D. Because one thing I like about this movie is that it didn't overuse the 4D effects. It
Mhm.
really was only used when they're in the DeLorean or very minor things. And so normally I would say 4DX kind of takes away from the experience,
Yeah,
but it definitely did it this time. I think it actually enhanced the experience. So I
for
really
sure.
had a good time checking out the Back to the Future re-release in theaters.
Nice. Yeah, I remember when we watched Godzilla versus Kong, no, Godzilla X Kong in 4D, and along with everything that was going on, we that just that being so in front, we did not catch a single frame of that film, bro.
Bro,
Like
no.
and the chairs were not helping, and the fucking kicking and the water effects and everything. It
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
what a mess.
Like this movie
Yeah.
had no this movie didn't have any water effects. It had just a little bit of the spraying, a little bit of the wind. The smoke was
Hmm.
really cool, like when the DeLorean opened and all the smoke comes out, like the smoke was
Nice.
there. Like I don't know, it really like this movie just worked in a
Hmm.
4D experience. And so
Yeah.
it was it was definitely worth the admission.
Bet.
Yeah. Did you watch anything else this week?
Yeah, I also watched Richard Linklater's new film, Blue Moon,
Ooh, I also want to
starring
check this out.
Ethan Hawke, and I did really like this one. I do think you should go out and watch this one. It's also like it's nothing super big either. I mean, none of Linklater's films are really like really big epics or anything like that. But it's kind of like a meditative kind of the whole film takes place in one bar. Um, it's starring Ethan Hawke, and he's just like yapping the whole movie about like the music industry and musicals and how and his friends and his relationships, and it's a character study on what is his name, Lawrence Hart,
Uh-huh.
um, which was Roger and Hammerstein's ex partner,
Uh-huh.
working with like he used to work with Lawrence Hart, but and then he just kind of felt abandoned after he started working with Hammerstein. Um, and I felt I don't know, I really liked it. I really like kind of like what it had to say about like that sort of relationship in it like professional relationship, and also just like Lawrence's heart, like Ethan Hawke is just like so enthusiastic with everything he says. Um, he's like his own character, and so is everyone around him. Like they all prop him up as well. Um, yeah, the writing was really good. It was like really funny. It's not every joke hit, but it's kind of like a jokes
Uh-huh.
per minute sort of situation,
Okay.
where like, okay, well, that was one thing. We're going on to the next one. It's fine, and I really did like that. It also took its time, with with a certain shot or a certain scene or a conversation. It didn't feel
Uh-huh.
like it was rushing anything, and by the end of it, it's not a super long movie. I think it's like an hour 30 or 40. But by the end of it, I was like, damn, I really wanted to keep going to know, like, I just wanted to see more. I would have watched like another hour of just Ethan Hawke talking. Um, but yeah, it was great. It's 100 minutes,
Interesting.
so yeah, it's 140 minutes. 1 hour
Okay.
and
Yeah.
40 minutes. I mean,
Not bad at all. Yeah,
it's
I've
really good.
heard. I had another friend recommend this to me. And so maybe I'll check it out this week. I hope to. I just there's a lot on the docket this coming week, so we'll see if I get to
No,
it.
yeah,
But
for sure.
I want to watch it eventually. It's still in theaters, right?
Yes. Well, I watched it on, I think Saturday. Yeah, I
Uh,
watched it on Saturday. I know it's like, I would say go kind of as soon as possible because I feel like it could leave theaters any minute.
okay, interesting. All right,
Yeah,
well, thank you for the recommendation. I have. Uh, I'm gonna quickly go over these. I just watched a few horror movies this weekend.
for sure.
All of them were Wes Craven movies. I watched Scream. So my two least favorite Scream movies are the second one and the fourth one.
Mm.
Um, they're still great, but something's got to be last, and these are my two. Originally, I had fourth as my least favorite, and then Scream Two, uh, as my second least. Um, but however, on this current rewatch, they swapped. Um, they're perfectly fine movies. I think the other ones are better, and I had a good time. It was my first time revisiting the fourth one since the first time I watched it because it was the only one I actively didn't like when I first
Mm.
watched it, but it really grew on me this time, and I had a pretty fun time with it.
What made you like go back to these?
So specifically the fourth one, like I said, it was the only one I haven't rewatched, so I was like, I
Hmm.
should probably rewatch this. And so this was, I think, the day the Scream trailer dropped, so I was just in a ghost facing mood, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. So I put on the fourth one. Great, great time. And then I rewatched the second one because my girlfriend never saw it, and we watched the first one together, and so we're just kind of making our way through. So we ended up watching the second one.
Nice, cool, fun.
Yeah, and then on my train back home from Miami, I put on Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is a film. By the way, do you know anything about this movie?
No, I have not seen New Nightmare. I think the only Nightmare on Elm Street movie I've seen is the original first one and the reboot that came out in like 2011 or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So this movie was honestly really shocking. It's really cool. It's not like the type of movie you would expect. It's like uh, the first time Wes Craven gets meta. It's like about Freddy Krueger like coming into the real world, and like the actor of the main final girl from Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street plays herself. Like
Interesting.
Wes Craven is as a character in the film, and then like at the end, I mean, this is a 30-year-old movie. I'm just gonna say what happens, but at the
Hmm.
end, like she's reading the script, and then it like matches what's going on screen. It's very meta,
That's
and
crazy.
yeah, it was scary. It was a good Freddy Krueger movie,
Hmm.
but it also just had that really cool meta element, which I feel like definitely inspired Scream because there's a lot of the Scream coded meta ness in this, and this came out
Yeah.
right before he did Scream, and
Mm.
so yeah, I don't know. I was really surprised. It was not at all what I thought I was gonna be, and honestly, really fun watch. I would really recommend it. And I've only ever seen the first one, so I don't know much of the Freddy Krueger lore. But just for the wonky bonkers nonsense meta ness that this movie is, it's worth a watch. It's pretty fun.
It's like supposed to be the last Freddy Krueger movie in like at least Wes Craven's run of Freddy Nightmare on Elm
Oh,
Street,
is
right?
it?
Something like that.
Is
I
I
think
don't know.
so. I believe so.
Very cool. I mean, I guess with the way it ends, that would make sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it was just a
Yeah, I mean,
very
yeah, I
cool.
mean, I really like. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say like it was just really cool. Like it's not something I expected from the time. I feel like this is like more of a modern concept. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was just really fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I really like. I think Freddy Krueger's like one of my favorite monsters. I think I said this before as well. I have wanted to go through like a binge of all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, just because I do really like the premise of how creative they can get. How like kooky with they can get with like the visuals and like all the different like things that they do to terrorize the kids. I think it's really funny. I've seen like clips here and there of the movies. Um, and like I said, I only saw like the first one and the reboot in full.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I'd be down to do like a whole binge of that and eventually get to New Nightmare because I never knew it was like this like sort of meta text or whatever. Like that sounds crazy.
Yeah, it was very strange, but it was a really fun watch.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, do you have anything else that you want to mention for what we watched before we move into the main feature?
Uh, no, that's pretty much it. I'm just ready to go in.
Yeah, all right. So let's move into this week's main feature, Bugonia. Let me start with a quick spoiler-free summary. Two conspiracy-obsessed men kidnap the CEO of a major company when they become convinced that she's an alien who wants to destroy the Earth. Nick, what did you think, spoiler-free, of Begonia?
I honestly really loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was I love how simple it is, especially considering like Yorgos Lanthimos' like other movies. Um I wasn't the biggest fan of Kinds of Kindness, and I did really like Poor Things. Nothing like crazy, but I really liked it. But yeah, in relation to this, it's like a lot more smaller. It's a lot more focused. Um, yeah, and I really like stories where it's just like about one freak, about one little freak and his little I don't know, fucking misgivings or
Nonsense.
whatever, his like
Yeah,
misadventures, his nonsense.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I really love movies that are about that. So when I first heard that this was announced, I was like really excited for it. And yeah, it didn't disappoint. I felt very satisfied by the end of it. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I actually. So, for context, Nick, you know this. I am not a Yorgos Lanthimos fan. I've seen
Hmm.
Poor Things. I didn't really like it at all. I think that's my least favorite one. I hated that one.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Kinds of Kindness and was super just mediocre on it. I thought it was fine. I thought it was way too long. And then I saw those two in theaters, and then I saw The Lobster on streaming, and I thought it was just so weird. I think he's a very weird director. You have to like him a lot to enjoy his movies. He's
Mm-hmm.
very specific and uneasy with his choices. Um, he always does a lot of commentary, which doesn't always work for me. But
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, I think this movie was phenomenal. I loved it. I
I'm
can't believe
so glad to hear that.
I can't believe I'm saying that because I could not care about the trailer. I could not
Mm-hmm.
care about the concept. Like I said, I don't like the director. Uh, I was only going for the two main actors because I like Jesse Plemons and I love Emma Stone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wasn't going in with much, but then I started kind of like reading more about the concept of like last week or whatever, and then I was like, wait, maybe this movie isn't pretty good. And then I watched it and I was like, damn, this shit fucks. Like this is awesome.
Is the writing this fire?
Like I don't know okay. So the performances, let me start there, were
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. I think Emma Stone was great, but I think this is really the Jesse Plemons show.
Oh, for
I
sure, for
think
sure.
this is
Jesse Plemons and
easily
also the I don't remember his name unfortunately, but I
the
think it's
cousin.
Teddy
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or
his
something.
cousin. Ted,
Yeah, the
Ted, Ted. Yeah,
cousin.
yeah,
It's like I feel like it's really their show. Honestly, he
yeah,
especially the side character. He really stole it from
yeah.
me.
Yeah, it's not to knock Emma Stone. She was fantastic, and I'll get to that. But
Mm-hmm.
just Jesse Plemons, um, he's so like deliberate and kind of eerie in the way he sells the crazy, just believes the nonsense that he's spewing. And I think just the way the camera moves around his character is really uneasy. Not moves, but like because Yorgos doesn't really do movement in his shooting. I mean, the way he's
Yeah.
like framed, especially when he's like riding the bike, and then the music, like there's just shots of for like 10 seconds of him just biking with loud music behind him, and it just worked for
Mm-hmm.
me. It sold it completely. That this is the type of guy that would, pretty much not blackmail. What's the word? Not convince.
Kidnap,
Not kid. Like what he did to Ted. He not
manipulate.
convinced. Manipulate. That's the word. Like manipulate someone into kind of like feeding into his delusions, right? And
Oh, for
I don't
sure.
know. And it's crazy because a lot of, like you said, this is a very simple movie. It's a lot of in one house, in one basement, kind of just talking, and it works. It's intriguing. You really don't know what's going on. We'll get into once we get to spoilers. We'll kind of dive into the nitty gritty of what the plot is or whatever. But like, you
Mm-hmm.
really don't know who to believe, um, and I think he effortlessly subverts expectations throughout the movie a lot, and it worked for me a lot. I was really engaged.
For sure. Just like one quick note about that. I do really love how the way that he delivers information, it isn't like expository. It
Yeah,
comes
it's very
natural
natural.
with either like
Hmm.
it's very natural. It comes with like the convert. Like there were so many moments where my jaw dropped on the floor where I was like, oh, no way, or like no way, like where it just keeps getting revealed, like the layers of these two people's like relationships and how their lives have like intermingled before. And also one quick thing about like I do really love the camera work, and more specifically the lighting of this movie is
Oh yeah,
absolutely gorgeous. there
yeah.
was there was one shot with I think it was either the first or second time that Jesse Plemons comes to see Emma Stone in the basement, and then he leaves, and then like we're just left with Emma Stone's like silhouette, like bald silhouette with I think green lighting, and
Uh-huh.
it was like an outline of her face, and I just like damn, like that's why they shaved her head because this
Yeah.
shot is gorgeous. Like so much of the movie is is just beautiful looking shots. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was spectacular. I really liked it as well.
Yeah, the way the like when they put the cream on Emma Stone's bald head with the
Yes,
light
bro.
would like reflect off of
Mm-hmm.
the cream, like it just looks so cinematic and beautiful. It just worked for me on all the levels. I like
100%.
yeah, it just looked great.
Who would have thunk it? Yorgos knows what he's doing, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, I have seen people say that this is his most like accessible film, and I
Sure,
agree
I can see that.
100%. I agree
Yeah.
100%, but that's not because it dumbs down his content. It's just I think this is a movie that's just more. Uh, I struggle to say entertaining because
I
it's
would say
very subjective.
focused.
But yeah, it is very okay. That's a better way to put it. Focus. Yeah, it just makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, and it's also quite like relevant. Like it's focused and it's relevant to like a lot of what's going on in like the world with, like grandparents or not even just grandparents, but like people being like stuck down like conspiracy holes and everything like that. Like it's very easy to think of this as like, oh, that's like my neighbor, that's like my cousin, my uncle, whatever. Like that's who they could be down the line if shit gets worse. You know what I mean? It's very easy to relate to that sort of story.
yeah, and also I think it was a really interesting way of explaining about how kind of like crazy ideals and ideas get passed down from generation to generation,
For sure, for sure.
and how like it's all about how you're raised and like that'll really a lot of that is from the parents and how they were raised and how it affected them growing up. That'll determine I guess their sanity. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
like the way that they handle these crazy situations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you want to move into spoilers so we can kind of discuss the nitty gritty?
Yes, but before we do that, just one final word. Alon, do you recommend Bugonia?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I totally would recommend Begonia. And I would
Great.
say try to watch it in a theater if you can because the score is really
Absolutely.
nice
Same.
and it's nice to hear it in the screen. With that being said, here is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the movie and you plan to, now's a good time to click off. Nick, Did you think she? Okay. Did you think she was an alien? Yes or no?
So yeah, I was. It switched a lot for me throughout the film, and by the end of it I still don't entirely know. I mean, I guess like we got our answer by the very end of the film, but I'm still like not convinced. I want to say I want to say that she isn't. I want to say that she's like actually just a normal person, and or like just I feel like we switch perspectives in the middle of the movie. Like even though like the whole movie is like pretty much from the perspective of of Jesse Plemons,
Uh huh.
I feel like we start off with like the reality of the situation, and then I don't remember. This is so crazy. I can't remember if he no he dies. Yeah, he does die. Um, Regardless of him dying, like I still feel like we're kind of like in his world or in his head. So I think that explains why she was an alien at the very end. I might also just be like overthinking it. Because I'm gonna be honest, when I when it happened, when the very end happened, and like she was being like taken away in the ambulance, um, and then she like escaped and like went into the closet. I was like, oh no, is it actually gonna be revealed that she was like an alien the whole time? I wasn't really like fucking with that ending
Uh huh.
until they really committed to it, until they were like, oh no, like she's gonna be an alien, and like we're gonna see her in her world, and she's actually the queen, and all of this, and then we're gonna see like the very end with like the whole world dying, and everything. I was like, okay, so I didn't like the direction that they went, but I like kind of the outcome
Okay.
of it. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
yeah, do you think she was an
So
alien?
I didn't think for a second that she was an alien the entire film, and I thought it was so funny, like especially the calculator bit had me just
Yeah.
dying. I was like, oh my god, she is pulling her this out of her ass, and then Jesse Plemons' character is just so needs to believe anything that he will truly believe anything, and then when it turned out to be true and that is actually how she contacted, so I don't think that it was in his head. I do think the ending is real and that she was an alien this whole time.
Hmm.
um and so I just think that adds another layer of comedy, that that's actually the way, um that she's gonna contact her thing, and it needs to be the 58 fucking digit code on the calculator, and you have to go in that closet. And it was just such a, I don't know, I think the comedic timing in this movie was really good. Also,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
when they first go and kidnap Emma Stone, you just assume that they're gonna easily be able to do it, but no, like she like fights back, and there's a little bit of like a chase sequence, and that was
Hmm.
really fun. Like the camera was like kind of far away, so you're like, we were kind of far away from the van where she exits. And I don't know, I think that whole sequence was shot really cool. Um, and yeah, I like I said, the comedic timing was really funny. I think
How
the
did you
whole
feel? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that the whole ending, like, was so out there, but just because he committed so hard,
Yeah,
like,
for
not
sure.
for a second, he's like, I'm not gonna make this a joke at all. I'm gonna fucking fully commit. Like, she is an alien. This world is ruled by aliens. Whatever. And he just commits so fully, and that's what sells it. I
Hmm.
think it works because he sells it to the fullest potential. Um, and yeah, I think it was a really funny way to go about handling the conclusion.
For sure. I think like committing. I think committing is 100% like the right word. Like I said, like I didn't really. I wasn't the biggest fan of like the reveal of like, oh no, she actually is an alien. But what really sold it for me was the fact that like they, like I said, they built this world, and like they were right about everything. Like they had their own language, and just everything looked so weird and kooky. And also with the very end of like her like popping the atmosphere of the earth, and it also being revealed that like the earth is actually flat, um and everything like that. Like I was just like, oh okay, so like yeah, this isn't like this isn't a cop out, you know what I mean? Like no, this was like
Yeah.
100% part of the plan, to begin with. What did you think about him, it being revealed that he's like low-key a murderer, like low-key a serial killer? Jesse Plemons, I mean.
Um, well, I'm honestly not surprised. I mean, did you not pick up on that vibe?
Well, I mean, I I when it was revealed to me like that, like he was a murderer and everything, I was like, oh, okay, so like he actually does do this. Like this is like this is crazy. I was starting to pick up on it when he was like doing the electric chair thing, and that's when I was like, oh, I don't like this character anymore. Like I don't feel bad for this character anymore. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was I like how I like how Yorgos has, because this before the whole like electric chair and everything, I feel like Jesse Plemons was still somewhat of a likable character, or sympathetic, I'd say a sympathetic character, and he maintains being a sympathetic character throughout the whole thing. But after the chair and after that reveal, I'm like, oh, like I'm not the biggest fan of that as like a person, I guess. And I do like that he's not afraid to be like, no, these are bad people, like, or not bad, like these are people who do bad things, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
he's not afraid to show that. I like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I guess for me, I just knew that like he was. I don't know. I thought that there was just something deeper to the Jesse Plemons character because he was so sure about the alien thing and he knew it, like to the very specific like details on the skin or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like he and so I was like I don't think he's pulling this out of his ass. I think there's something more to this. And so I was kind of just waiting for the reveal of how he knows all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that really got me was when Ted killed himself. That
Yeah,
was
no, for
a
real.
that was a really well done sequence. And I kind of saw it coming after he was like, "Tell Teddy, like I said, I'm sorry."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but it was just really heartbreaking, honestly, and kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, for real.
But done effectively, and you know, I think it was at the perfect place in the story to like further fuel the craziness of Jesse Plemons' character to get
And I
us
think,
towards the ending of the movie.
yeah, no, and I think like the movie really does a good job at like making you actually care about Teddy. It
Yeah,
focuses a lot
totally.
on him, especially like towards the beginning. Like in the beginning, I noticed that like even when Jesse Plemons is talking, like the camera is affixed on Teddy and like his reaction and how he feels about everything. And then like for it to end the way that it did, I thought that was a very good payoff about everything. How did you? I also thought it was really crazy when he killed his mom.
Yeah,
Um,
he
that
was just so uh
entrenched in his own conspiracy, or I guess in his own
yes,
truth, because it's not a conspiracy,
yeah,
it's true.
so trying to like find out like trying to like see the truth and the nonsense surrounding him that he'll just
Mm-hmm.
believe anything um in the hope that he gets what he wants. I also just want to mention that I think the Teddy character was really good to like kind of ground Jesse Plemons' character
Oh,
before
for
he
sure, for
dies,
sure.
so that the swap to the manicness is just that much more urgent. I think that character was really holding together Jesse Plemons
Yeah,
before his
for
death.
sure.
Yeah.
How did you feel about like the black and white segments of the movie?
Yeah, they were fine. I think they could have been a little bit more specific on what was going on there. I think it was a little bit too
Mm-hmm.
vague, but they were few and far between that. They didn't really affect anything to me. They were just kind of there. I wouldn't say that they were
Yeah,
bad or good.
yeah. I mean, I think that's what I really like about Yorgos, especially in those black and white moments, is like, you know, he can put you on kind of like a straight and narrow path about like a story, but then like every so often he'll have these like really visual symbolic moments where he's like it's almost like it almost feels like a painting.
Uh huh.
um and I really like that. I really like seeing like what he comes up with, even though it's not anything like super like complex intellectually or anything like that. Like he's holding his mom on like a balloon string or whatever. Like it's nothing crazy. um but I still really like that, like he still does that, you know what I mean? Like he still has the ability to do
Yeah.
that even in such like a grounded film like this one, I guess. um yeah, I would say one thing that I wasn't like super 100% on was kind of like unspoken plot line between Jesse Plemons' character and the cop.
Yeah,
Just because,
I actually forgot about that until you just mentioned it. That
yeah,
wasn't
no,
there wasn't much there.
yeah, there wasn't much there, and I was kind of waiting for something to come out of that, because like they keep hinting to it that like the cop did something kind of like molesty to Jesse Plemons'
Yeah,
character.
that's definitely the
Uh,
vibe I was getting.
yeah, for sure. And so I was kind of like waiting for something to come out of that to like make it impactful, and it never did. Which was, some like it was disappointing, especially because I don't know if you know this, but the cop actor is Stavros Halkias. He's a comedian that I really like, and he's on like he used to be in a podcast called Come Town.
Oh,
Um,
you mentioned the podcast to me.
Oh yeah. And so I was, and this is like his like he's been in like another movie before, but this is like his like first like I guess like big movie somewhat. And so I was really hyped to see him, and I was really hyped for like his character like to mean something. It kind of didn't, which was unfortunate, but um, the fact that he's there in general is crazy. It's great. I love it.
Yeah,
Um,
he actually I saw on Letterboxd he reviewed the movie. He was like, "Who's that sexy guy playing the cop?" And I thought that was
yeah,
pretty funny.
yeah, yeah. It was funny. But yeah, that was the only part of the movie where I was like, that could have led to something, or that could have been. They
I
could have
think it
either
just could have been
cut
cut
that
out.
down, or
I say
yeah,
cut
cut
it
that
out.
down or bring it
It
up.
didn't really add anything.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I agree. Either flesh it out or cut it out. But
Absolutely.
other than that, I can't really say there was much else I find wrong with the movie. I think it was paced
Yeah.
well.
No. Honestly.
Even though a lot of it was just conversations, and I think it was very entertaining. I think it was funny, and maybe I'll be more open-minded when it comes to Yorgos movies in the future.
Hmm. For sure. I mean, yeah. Get on this Yorgos train, bro. It's going and kicking. I think he said he was gonna take a break though, after this one. He was like, yeah, I'm done for
Well,
now.
yeah, because he made like Poor Thing, Kinds of Kindness, and this pretty close together. So I'm not surprised that he's
It was
taking a
year
bit
and
of a
year. It
break.
was pretty much year and year. So
Yeah,
like a movie
because
per year. It's kind of crazy.
2023 December was Poor Things, and then June 24 was Kinds of Kindness, and then here we are with Bugonia. So he
Yeah, for
is
sure.
definitely an efficient filmmaker.
For sure.
Yeah. So I
Do you,
think. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you if you do you have anything else to say about Begonia?
Oh no. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say on the movie other than I think it's definitely worth a watch. It's in my top 10 of the year, and yeah, it definitely, especially if you haven't been high on Yorgos in the past, I think this might be a movie to kind of change your mind because it might be changing my mind.
For sure.
So that brings us to the end of the review. What do you plan to watch this week, Nick?
Real quick, if you want like another like more grounded Yorgos film, I recommend The Favorite, with Emma Stone.
Favorite? Okay.
Yeah, it's like about kind of like British royalty, but it also has like that weird charming. That was my first Yorgos film, and
Okay.
I saw it when it came out, and I was pretty young back then, so I didn't really like get it. And I haven't rewatched it since then, but I remember just really liking the vibes of it, and really liking like the atmosphere that it builds. So I recommend
Right.
that. It is a lot more grounded. It's a lot more focused as well.
Cool. Good
Um,
to know.
yeah. What am I? There's a few things I have on my docket this week. I do want to see Die My Love. I know we talked about it a little before. Um, yeah, I also have tickets for the first stop motion animated movie called Soy Franquella. It's like a children's movie, but it's also about like monsters. I
Uh
don't
huh.
entirely know what the premise is, but I just know that the main character, she's like a ghost, and she's like traveling through like the world of the living and the dead to do things. I don't know. I'll give a full report on
Interesting.
it next week. But yeah, I'm just excited for that because where I'm watching it, the directors are also giving a Q&A. And it
Cool.
also
Very cool.
Yeah, and also this movie worked really closely with Guillermo del Toro. He actually I heard the story. He actually like saw like an early cut of the film, and he was like, no, we could do better. And then he himself went to the studio in Mexico and like helped the studio like fully flesh out the movie
Uh
to the
huh.
point that where it is today. So yeah,
Very
I'm just
cool.
excited to see what that is, and I think it's significant because it's like the first Mexican stop motion animated movie, so it's like pretty cool.
That is very cool. That is very cool.
Yeah. Also, yeah, like I said, Die My Love. That. I do maybe want to watch Welcome to Derry, and also I didn't mention this back then when it came out, but uh, do you know what Fiona and Cake is?
Oh, it's the Adventure Time show. I do know what
Yeah,
that
it's the
is.
Adventure Time show. They released the second season like towards the end of October, and I kind of forgot about it until now. So I do want to get around to watching that as well, and I want to play more Simpsons Fortnite.
Oh my god, it's so fun. We have
I've
to
been,
hop on, dude.
bro,
We
we
gotta get
actually
on.
have to
That
hop
shit
on.
is
I started
so
playing last
fun,
night.
bro.
I started playing
So
last night.
good.
That shit is goaded. Have you played it?
It's really fun, dude. I started like yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever.
Yes,
So
bro.
fun,
Yes.
so fun, so
We
fun.
actually have to hop on, bro. It's so good.
Yeah. What am I watching this week? This week, okay. So today I'm gonna be watching Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, in
Bet.
theaters. I'm very excited for that. What else comes other than our review for next week, which is Predator Badlands? I plan to watch Chrissy, which is a Sydney Sweeney boxing movie, and Die My Love as well, which is the movie you mentioned with Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence.
Hmm.
Um, I think that brings us to the end of episode 12 of Popcorn Problems. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. We'll be back next week breaking down the new Predator film, Predator Badlands. But in the meantime, hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of Begonia. Oh, also, our YouTube channel is live,
Oh
so feel free
yes.
to look us up on YouTube and share with your friends there. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. See you next time.
Have a good one,
Peace.
guys.